All right, so the change up. What'd you think?
You go ahead.
Okay. Not bad. Not bad, really. I mean, it was, you know, I went into this thinking, okay, this is going to be one of those really bad, insufferable, you know,
It was.
one of these really bad, insufferable comedies about, you know, nothing. And I don't know. I mean,
You thought it was funny?
I laughed a few times.
A few times. You thought it was fucking hilarious. You were laughing the entire time.
Fucking God. Okay,
You
so
say that every
anyway,
time. Oh, I laughed a couple times. This is the Jared Laugh-O-meter. I made a hash mark every time you fucking laugh out loud. It was like fucking Brad and Jared Reba laughing. Like he laughed and was repeating shit. So that is not a few times.
So, well, I mean, you're already recommending it, so...
So anyway, as if I could get back to what I was saying, anyway, there were a few times where I laughed genuinely amused. There were a few times where I laughed just at, you know, how pitiful a joke was or something like that. I was like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I
you
didn't
know,
count
that was
those.
that.
You're not going to talk your way out of this one. You were sitting there repeating laughing.
What am I trying to talk my way out of?
Saying that you thought it was okay when you were laughing hilariously through most of the movie.
Are you calling me a liar?
I'm saying you're trying
Because
to downplay
no,
it like you do with every movie.
Oh, for the love of
Transformers 3
God!
was the same thing.
Oh, for the love of God!
Well, you're recommending the movie, so...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but you can't say, well,
oh
most of the
my-
time it was just like, this is stupid, because you were laughing out loud and repeating the stupid shit they said, thinking it's funny. Ha! Oh, blah, blah, blah. Like, it was like the most hilarious thing ever uttered.
Well, okay, what was wrong with it?
Well, aside from it being vice versa, okay, first of all, we didn't get any CG nips. They, like, cut that out. Wasn't there. Like, he had his
Really?
hands on her, and
Oh.
that was out. They CG'd milk over the kids when Ryan Reynolds as Jason Bateman is trying to feed the kids and can't do it. But I guess it's, like, abuse if you CG milk over children or something. So that was, like, I'm like, 99% sure that was CG. It was just, like... The first 2 minutes gives you the tone of the movie with the kids shitting in Jason Bateman's mouth.
Nice.
And yeah, I thought that would happen after the switch, and that didn't happen. And like the whole, just the premise of it, and like how you said, well, maybe it's not that bad because he's trying to get, you know, Ryan Reynolds laid and he's in his body. No, because she is on his cancer list, where if your wife dies of cancer, you have a list of people you want to bone first. So he's trying to make this happen for his friend guilt-free because he's in his other body.
Uh-huh.
So there's that whole like cheating aspect, and then like instead of the grass is always greener, appreciate what you have, they do that, but it's also the whole, oh, let's live it up, and oh, I don't want to switch back. There's a moment where they could switch back and they're just like, oh no, maybe tomorrow, yeah. And I mean, they do like a few like very few like touching moments or whatever where it's like the wife is confiding to Ryan Reynolds about, you know, her husband, and because he's all about work and everything, and she's crying, and, you know, he's just realizing this for the first time.
Sure.
But after that moment, he's like trying to get and bone his secretary legal assistant lady, and so it's just, it's very lost, and it's kind of like they were like, okay, we gotta have the tender moments in here, but it doesn't follow cohesively.
Well, is it just a raunchy comedy?
It is. It's essentially they did vice versa, but we'll put a twist on it and make it both dudes, and one's a family man and one's a swinger, and we'll just say like cuss, like just tons of cussing for the sake of cussing, and then the nudity, and like Ryan Reynolds is a partial actor, and so he does a gig, but it turns out to be softcore porn with some ugly lady, and then a guy comes in, he's got to stick his thumb in her ass. So
excuse me.
sounds like something you might make. And then like Ryan Reynolds' weekly bone turns out to be like the crazy freak that they talk about, you know, in the commercials. She's 9 months pregnant, and he picked her up, and he's all like, what? No. She's like, are you saying I'm not beautiful because I'm pregnant? And it's just like, whatever.
Well,
Now, see, that's what I'm saying. You just laughed at that, you know, stick your thumb in her butt. Yeah, that's funny. I laughed at that, and this wet shirt over here seems to think that that's bad to laugh at something like that,
It was
you know?
stupid. It was painful.
Yeah, exactly. It was stupid, but it was funny
No,
stupid.
it wasn't. It wasn't funny stupid.
do you not like raunchy humor?
Not really, but how many times have you seen that
Okay.
done? You've seen it in Orgasmo and everything like that, where it's like, oh, it's a porno set. Oh, this is gonna be hot. Oh no, zany, ugly old chick with like huge ass fucking tits, and it was just like
That was
it
one
was
other
all
movie.
expected.
How is that was one other movie? How is that cliche?
It's cliche because it's been done before.
Oh,
Everything's been done before. The change up has been done before.
Exactly. It never should have been made. It's been done so
Well,
much.
yeah,
That
but
vice
but the
versa,
least you
Freaky
could do is
Friday.
try to enjoy
Fucking
yourself.
I knew what it was going into it.
Huh?
I knew what it was going into it.
Yeah, so did I. And I
And
was
you had a
actually kind of
blast.
pleasant. No, I did not have a blast.
The hash marks say you had a blast.
Oh my fucking god. Fuck your hash marks, okay? The hash marks don't mean shit.
They mean you laughed a lot.
Yeah, I laughed a lot. Some
You
of them
can't
were
say it
in
was okay.
irony.
No, because I didn't mark those ones.
You didn't know.
Yes, I did.
Oh,
When you
God,
go,
don't give me
really?
that.
What?
Don't give me that. You
I know.
don't know.
When you go, oh, and repeat it, that's laughing. That's what I counted.
Whatever. Yeah.
So, how are the actors? How are
ahead, you-
how are
No,
Jason
you go.
Bateman and
You go. You
I
seem
don't
to-
know Jason Bateman or Ryan Reynolds? Did they do a good job of
Switching each other?
yeah?
Jason, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just finishing his sentence. Go ahead.
Jason Bateman just like they played up like the Ryan Reynolds character from the beginning, so he acted like a damn fool. Like he comes out and it's like a crotch shot with him covering his penis. He's like, I got freckles on my whatever, blah blah, and he's just like not even trying to act like he's like Ryan Reynolds in Jason Bateman's body, but he's not doing the thing where he's trying to act like Jason Bateman and like pull it off. He's blatantly like cussing in the courtroom and things like that, and just like he's playing. You know what I mean? Like when the actors switch bodies, they'll try and act like the other person, so
Yeah.
people don't know, and they like
They just act the same. Or?
pretty much, yeah. I mean, and Ryan Reynolds does, you know, the basic toned down Ryan Reynolds character, so you kind of lose it as being Jason Bateman, but Jason Bateman is like up on the Ryan Reynolds crazy scale.
So Jason Bateman does a good job of being Ryan Reynolds.
Let me here. I will kind of agree. You see, there was no real depth to these two characters, as opposed to like Face Off. There was a lot of depth in Face Off. You know, whenever John Travolta and
Nick Cage.
Nick Cage, thank you. Whenever they switched roles, they literally had to like basically do their best impersonations of each other. Ryan Reynolds and Jason Bateman didn't really do that. Ryan Reynolds' character just had a really filthy, filthy mouth, really cussed a lot. And Jason Bateman did not. So the only real difference between the two of them is that now,
One curses.
yeah, basically, one curses, one does not. One's a family man, one's a single guy. So they really just kind of like, switched in that sense.
I mean, they tried to, like, give them some mannerisms. Like, every time Jason Bateman wakes up in the morning, he's like, okay, I'm up. So when they switch places, Ryan Reynolds does that when he wakes up.
Sure.
But other than that, there were no real mannerisms other than one acting like a complete childish jackass and the other one, But, like, the whole thing of it was, like, two polar opposites instead of being, like, a guy and a girl or, a mom and a daughter or a father and a son. It was, like, law family man and like idiot still wants to be a kid, gives up on everything, and they're supposed to learn their lesson by being with the other person.
Well, I don't think there's anything wrong with making them opposites from each other.
No,
I mean,
I'm just saying that I'm not saying there's anything wrong. I'm just saying that's what they were.
Okay.
They weren't really any. They didn't really like have mannerisms to adapt to because they were
Sure.
so extremely different. And it's not like that, it was like Jason Bateman's supposed to go in there and do this law deal, and eventually, he researches it, and he, gets it going, and it passes, but he does it in the raunchy Ryan Reynolds crazy way. He doesn't ever, like, do it in the Jason Bateman to, like, I mean, looking at him, you would think, like, there's one line, she's like, are you having a stroke? Because he's light. Because he's acting just fucking crazy through the entire movie. Like, you'd think he was going through just something. So, I mean, they never tried to imitate each other as the other person.
How is Leslie Mann?
Who's
A
that?
blonde?
Bateman's wife.
Yeah.
She was pretty cool. She was really good. There was that serious moment where you actually felt, she was really good. You actually felt like she was this neglected housewife that really just was trying to just go through one day, each day, just trying to hope that once he makes partner, that Jason Bateman is going to be, a better husband and a better father.
He was great with the kids, though. Like, I mean, he just complete interest in the kids. The kids would come up, oh, that's spectacular, things like that. Like, as bad as he felt, but it was like the whole like neglectful wife thing and like forgetting things that they touched on twice in the movie, and then other than that, she was her regular stereotypical like yelling
like
antics.
a knocked up.
Yeah, not as bad as that, but I mean about a little tone down.
There were times where she kind of tapped into that character from Knocked Up, where she was
and
kind
everything
of
she played.
She was kind of a cold-hearted bitch, but I mean, this is only the second movie that I've seen with her in it.
You saw The Cable Guy. She was in that. She was Broderick's girlfriend.
See,
40-year-old virgin.
40-year-old virgin. She was the
I ate shellfish.
She was the drunk chick who crashed her car.
Oh, was she?
Yeah.
She was what?
Oh.
She was in Last
George of
Man
the
Standing
Jungle?
with Bruce Willis. George of the
wasn't
Jungle.
George of the Jungle. I forgot about that.
What did she play in George of the Jungle?
The chick,
Ursula.
Yeah, the girl.
the main character.
She's really forgetful then.
I like her. I like
You're
Leslie
forgetful
Mann.
because you can't remember.
I mean, shit.
A book.
I've seen I've seen George of the Jungle. I've seen all these other movies.
Well, you also couldn't remember Nicolas Cage's name.
Yeah, you're gonna get your ass kicked later for that, by the way.
I just had a brain fart. Jesus Christ.
About Nicolas Cage, you might as well have forgotten my fucking name, you asshole.
Oh, speaking of shit, this movie has tainted our anniversary and my birthday. Because he's like, when's your anniversary? Oh, it's April 17th, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, oh, no, it's April 19th, but it's still there. And then he's like, when's my birthday? March 25th. I'm like, God damn you, movie!
So now you just simply thought the movie was funny and
Yeah, I had a good time. It was a lot of fun. There were some moments where I was just kind of like, really? Are you really going to do that? Whenever they're having the serious moment, and then Jason Bateman comes in with his hand over his crotch in a mirror. Oh, I've got freckles on my taint. It's just like, really? Just out of nowhere, they're having this serious, confiding moment. Then all of a sudden, oh, look at me. I'm naked. It's like, yeah, that was kind of lowbrow.
did you like it better than Zookeeper?
Yeah, oh God, yeah. Oh fucking God, yeah.
That's a really low bar to set.
Well, I'm glad you two enjoyed yourself. What kind of trailer did you get? What kind of trailers did you get?
The Thing, the New Year's Eve movie, that one with Brad Pitt and the baseball shit.
Oh, Moneyball.
Yeah. God, what
Fright
else?
Night.
Fright Night.
I think Apes was the first movie I've seen in a while that didn't have the Moneyball trailer.
Let's talk about New Year's Eve for a second. What's the deal with that movie? That movie just looks like, hey, let's jam pack a bunch of celebrities into one movie.
They remade 200 Cigarettes?
They do that every once in a while for like event romantic comedies things, and it'll be like, follow these.
I haven't
people
seen
in
the
their
trailer
story.
for this.
It's okay. Let's see if we can remember.
You can't even name it. All. It's a shit.
Sarah Jessica Parker, Ja Rule.
I thought you said it had celebrities in
Jessica
it.
Biel, Robert De Niro, fucking Ashton Kutcher.
Yeah, there we go. There's
Like
5.
seriously, like they're listing the main girl that was in Knocked Up, the one that got knocked up.
Oh,
I
fuck
forget her name.
her.
Yeah.
Katherine
Katherine
Heigl.
Heigl.
Thank you.
There's 6.
No, like seriously, like they're just listing for about a good
Yeah.
10 to 15
And I
seconds,
guess it's
just
a-
flashing celebrities.
And
that are in it at the
Ephraim
end.
Zimbalist Jr.
Not Julianne Moore, the other one.
Julia Louis-Dreyfus?
No, the redhead. Oh,
Julia
God.
Roberts.
No. Although she's probably stuck in there because it's from the director of Pretty Woman.
Jodie Foster?
Trying to think.
Yeah, well, that's...
The one that was in Lost World.
Julianne Moore.
Yes, I think that's her. I'm not
Yeah.
sure.
But yeah, I mean, that movie just looks like a big bunch of nothing that, you know, hey, let's make a movie about, you know, New Year's Eve in Times Square. Sweet.
Well, it's coming in December, so it's going to be the hot New Year's Eve movie.
Right.
Oh, it better be.
The holiday movie.
Well, right on. You guys have final thoughts?
Don't waste your money. Don't do it. Poo and shit humor. Like, I mean, it was just those mainly two parts. Oh, and that's another thing. Showing all the fucking kitty parts. I don't need a zoom in of child vagina. It just seemed wrong. Like, the first time, whatever, because the poo's coming out of it. But, like, he's, like, changing the kids or they're doing something.
That
and they
was
kept
his
showing
ass.
the fucking... No, they
was a
showed
boy.
the fucking... No, the girl, they had the fucking vagina when he first, like, opened her diaper. Not... He changed the girl first and then the boy.
And
They
the
were
boy
twins.
shit in his mouth.
Yes, but there were also the girls, and they had the fucking kid vag, and they showed it a few times. It was just like, God, you don't have enough adult nudity in here.
Did you guys watch a Serbian film?
No.
Why the hell did you like
And the
it?
shit was CGI too. They couldn't even get like fake shit to put in his mouth. It was just like, "Bleh," and like popped out, and it just looked so
That-
fucking horrible.
No,
That's ridiculous.
That shit wasn't CGI. It was like
After when they
ground up.
showed it on his face, but when it's coming out of his mouth, it was CGI.
It looked like baby food to me.
Well, we'll have to shit in someone's mouth then and see what it looks like.
You need to get a baby to projectile it.
I'll
though.
use Nick. Did you give your final thought yet?
My final thought is, you know, if you ain't got anything better to do, and you know, you're gonna have a good time. It's not like Zookeeper where you're gonna sit there and act like that.
That's another thing too. They're like cussing and shit in front of like these kids, and like no, I mean like the little girl that was like 7 or whatever. Like Ryan Reynolds as Jason Bateman goes through like this whole like speech about because like this little girl keeps tripping her in ballet, and they do like the verbal talkbacks and stuff, and he's like no, and it's like this really graphic speech was just like a shitload of cuss words flying at her.
Yeah, what did
And
I
it's
don't
like
have a
she
problem
was
with
like
that.
7
What
or
did
something.
what
like
did
that,
she,
but-
I was actually laughing at that.
Yeah.
I was actually laughing at that. They were like, I can't remember what they said or exactly.
He's
but-
talking about like you shank that bitch, you shank that fucking bitch in her neck, and blah
right
blah
in front
blah.
of a 7-year-old, and it was hilarious.
That's fine. I don't have
That
a
is
problem with that.
hilarious. The
I mean,
kid,
what's the difference? What's worse about that than like the kid in RoboCop 2 who's like, can't shoot a kid, motherfucker, and shit like that? Or,
well, this kid really is like 6 or 7. I mean,
well, the
but
kid from RoboCop 2 was like a few years older.
it was kind of shocking, but that's what made it funny was the shock value. The shock value is what you're like, oh my god, I can't believe he's talking to this kid like this.
In
This is
Due Date,
great.
Robert Downey Jr. fucking punched a kid in the stomach. It was fucking hilarious.
Well, and that's the other thing during the kitchen scene that you see in the previews or whatever with the zaniness and
Yeah.
they've got the kid almost sticking his arm in the blender with the blender whirling and sticking his tongue in the light socket. I felt like I was fucking watching Roger Rabbit and Baby Herman going around.
Yeah, that.
And it was all CGI because
That was
they're not going to give a
ridiculous.
kid a fucking knife and the kid's crawling. I mean, it was just so
What the fuck?
stupid to have.
Yeah.
That is Roger Rabbit.
Yeah, basically,
I
yeah.
feel like he's like handling 2 kids, and I'm like, this is
Yeah.
fucking Baby Herman
There's-
and Roger Rabbit. That's
Can't
all
wait
it
to the
was.
sequel when they're in a
But then when
hospital
he's pouring the sorry,
at
know why I'm
the
pouring
roller
that
coaster
into it.
theme park.
But yeah, when he's pouring the milk over the kids because he's like, whatever, feed you, because he's like fed up. It's like,
Yeah.
I swear to God, it was fucking CGI because the kids didn't even fucking blink, and they're like, and I'm like, that's fucking CGI.
I'm telling you, man,
milk.
you got to
You're
go the
pouring
way of.
fucking
You
CGI
got to go
milk
the
on
way. You're gonna
kids.
do it. Do it right. Do it like at the end of Beware Children at Play.
Sorry.
But no, she's right. There's this one of the twins is a boy, and like whenever you first see this boy, he's rapidly banging his head up against the crib bars.
Like super fast motion.
Seems like our movie.
And it's like, and it's like, real, you know, I can see why you're using CGI there, but what's with banging your head up against the bars like that? I don't think I've ever seen a toddler ever do that.
You know, I was yelling about the fact that they couldn't find monkeys in a zoo in Rise.
They're all union.
You know,
Pick out some
it
scabs.
sounds like you guys had a much stupider abuse of CG than our movie. Our movie's fine, you know.
And I was waiting. I
Our
was like,
movie's
all right,
fine.
CG nips. Let's see what they did. Money well spent. Didn't even fucking use them. I think they did like a pan to his hands.
I
over
mean,
his
they showed him like a split second, like, you know, bra came off and then hands come up, and you do see them like briefly, but it's so brief that you can't even you can't even really.
And that makes it even more pointless.
Yeah, it's a bigger waste of money than Channing Tatum's paycheck. Take that, Channing Tatum.
I mean, I think I'm fine with the fact that they were just the CGI nips were just, you know, blinked on there.
What's
rather
the point?
Yeah, so the point.
What's the
is-
point?
Why put pasties over nipples?
I'm getting to
and
it.
then
I'm
CG
getting.
more nipples on top.
I'm getting to that. I'm getting to that. I would rather them if they're going to use CGI, which they really shouldn't anyway, but if they are, I would rather it be like a brief flash of one rather than one just sit there topless and have these fake nips just like sitting there for a long period of time.
Really, you're signing up for the fucking movie and you're gonna be like, no, I have to use pasties for a split second. It's like, if it's just a split second, who fucking
Just
cares?
don't
If
do
you're
it.
gonna get as naked as to put pasties over your
Yeah.
nipples, they're already out there. Do you have like freakishly deformed nipples? And no, because
She
she's
doesn't.
been
She's-
naked.
yeah,
she's
yeah.
been naked and shit before, so unless she had some like horrific nipple piercing accident that like just mutilated her nipples and that's why they couldn't go with it, but it's like,
That-
why? They
The end
showed
result
so
is
much
the
nipple in
same.
this movie.
Yeah.
You
know-
might as well just be your nipples.
Yeah, I disagree, man. If it's gonna be a split second like that, just don't do it. It's a waste of fucking money. I mean, just don't fucking do it. Just,
Well, yeah.
just cut out the fucking nudity.
I mean, bottom line, the principle is you know,
Yeah.
you're right. The principle is bad, but like I said, if you're going to do that, I would rather it be a split second rather than. You know what I
But
mean?
why even
Somehow
have that?
that
Why
makes-
waste
I
the
know-
money?
I
Just
know what
cut
you
to
mean.
the hands on the
Why do
tits.
it?
I know what you mean. It just seems to make it even. It seems to make something
It's more frivolous.
pointless. It seems to make something pointless even more pointless.
Yeah.
If it's a split. I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying, but if you don't want to do nudity, don't fucking do nudity. Just don't audition for the
like
part.
I said, because I was even looking, and I thought like maybe, and like I couldn't really like tell, and I was looking for it, and like maybe I just don't remember because it was so short or whatever. But it's like if it's gonna be that, and then you're gonna cut to the hands, why even show that? Be like, take off the back of the bra, you know, do the blocking with the hands up, and
Yeah.
and that's that. You're paying somebody to fucking CGI, you know, nipples on somebody for something that's hardly even noticeable that people are gonna have to like go through their DVD and like fucking pause, unless for some reason there's gonna be like, you know, unrated uncut edition and they're saving it for that.
There will be.
Yeah. So, you know.
Shit. I wish this wasn't the end of the summer because I gotta send you two to more movies. You guys.
Wait, is this the last?
No, this isn't the last
No,
one.
we're
Oh, okay. I was
There's-
gonna say.
there's-
We're running out. It's like the
we're
end of
we're
August.
running
Well,
out. But
I was gonna say Labor Day is like the first weekend in September.
They're stopping at the end of August, we asked.
well, she didn't really know, but regardless, if this is still going at the last week of August, we'll stop at the last week of August. But you two are the new fucking Siskel and Ebert. I've missed fucking Siskel and Ebert, man. Everyone on TV nowadays is friendly towards each other. You guys got the spark. I can see it
And
in
he had
you.
a fucking icy and he's slurping the shit out of it. And as soon as you walked out of the
Oh,
fucking
Jesus
thing with the
Christ.
icy, I was like, he's gonna fucking slurp it through half.
You're Siskel.
Is that the fat one? I want
No. Siskel's the Siskel.
Die of cancer.
Trust me, you're Siskel. Trust me, you're Siskel.
Oh, speaking of cancer, what was the movie about the dude with cancer? We got that trailer too.
Oh yeah, fucking Seth Rogen and the kid
Oh!
from Third Rock from the Sun.
I saw that
where
trailer,
He's
yeah.
dying of cancer. That'll probably turn out he's not dying of cancer at the end of it.
50-50.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw the trailer for that a while ago. All right, so well, that was great. All right, so I'm gonna get this.
You owe me a super duper double date night.
Oh, why not? You had it with
Any part of you that touches me, you're not getting back.
and we're in the back seat of a car. Come on, smile.
Oh,
I smile when I see a good movie. I will smile when I get to sit down with my fucking 1980s Transformers Ultimate Collection and erase the Michael Bay bitch abomination out of my fucking brain. That is when I will smile, because it'll be gone.
wicked burn on Transformers. I would never do that.
Except for Channing Tatum.
Get me started.
All right, we'll be back next week.
Galvatron says it best. That's bad comedy, Starscream. That's all I say. I'll go there.